Hi guys, so as we can see in the news, finally a historic deal has come where Israel and Hamas had agreed on a ceasefire and released all remaining hostages. All the 20 hostages or 22 hostages from Israel has been returned. All the 1,700 hostages from the Gaza Strip, Palestinians, have been returned. So now the real question is, where do we go from here? And I do want to say this is a historic moment, and I do want to give credit where credit is due, President Trump. But also, we got to look at the facts and reality. Out of these whole 2 years, we understand and we admit, that Hamas is a terrorist organization. They're bad, they're evil, they must be eliminated. Period. Full stop. But also, we can't justify what Israel has done for the past 2 years. October 7th was a horrific attack on Israel. But also, what Israel has done to Palestinians in Gaza, over 65,000 innocent people that they have killed, and the U.S. was complicit in that genocide. We just have to be honest about this. 1,700 compared to 65,000 innocent women, children. And we understand that Israel has the right to defend itself. But they overstepped their boundaries. They overstepped their hand. And the United States were complicit when they voted 42 times to continue bombing them, to continue to allow Israel to keep defending themselves in the point where they're bombing innocent children. Even after a year and a half after they killed the Hamas leader, they were still killing people in targeted hospitals where innocent people were recovering, or food banks where innocent people were starving to death and were trying to get food. They were killing them and bombing them. So there has to be a sense of reality here where we can't just let Israel just say, oh yeah, everything you did was justified. No. But when it came to this ceasefire, I think it was just the amount of pressure worldwide against Israel, that the support from them was failing. Also, Hamas, obviously, they have been weakened to the core with all the bombing and killings that Israel has done on them. Justifiably, cool, okay. But when you kill civilians and innocent children, you starve them to death, how can we support that? How can we say, oh, that's justified? No. You're going after the terrorist, cool, but you weren't doing that. You weren't only doing that, you were killing everyone. And we cannot accept that. We cannot allow Israel to keep doing this genocide. And we're not blaming the Israeli people. We're blaming the IDF. We're blaming the Israeli government. Even right now, the Israeli people dislike Benjamin Netanyahu. They disapprove of him very, very much. So again, I don't blame the Israeli people. Benjamin Netanyahu should be in jail. He's a criminal. And the International War Crime already said he is a criminal. And what he has done in Gaza is a complete disgrace. I used to be, obviously, for him, and he was defending his country. But after 2 years on and 65,000 innocent people dead, he had blood on his hands. But like I said, I do want to give credit to President Trump, but I think it's premature to say that the Middle East war conflict is over when it's not. Do you really think that Hamas is going to disarm their guns and everything, their military and everything just like that, free-handed? I don't think so. When they still want Israel to be erased from the earth. Do you really think that Israel is just going to say, okay, done, when they have already bombed them and killed all those people? there's real tensions. The only good thing right now is that the bombing has stopped and humanitarian food and trucks are going into the Gaza Strip to feed people. Because right now, honestly, starvation is happening all around that area. And there has to be serious, real questions like what's going to happen now? What's going to happen to Gaza? What's going to happen to the Palestinians that have been displaced? The whole region, especially in the West Bank, has completely been flattened, just torn to pieces. Thousands and thousands of Palestinians have been displaced. Their homes have been completely shattered into pieces, into rubble. What's going to happen? Hamas still exists. Yeah, has struck down to the core, but they still exist. And for Trump to tout, yes, this is a big accomplishment because other administration couldn't even do it, even the Biden administration. But still, what do we do now? I don't mean to be a downer. While this deal making is a success for the Trump administration, which it is, we got the hostages back on both sides, fine. But look how it is back home. We're dealing with a massive corrupt administration, overreaching on immigration, judge orders, firing federal employees, disregarding the rule of law, not caring for procedures, due process, which every American or every citizen that steps into this land has the right to, based on the Constitution. The government is shut down. Now it has prolonged to 2 weeks because the Republicans were not allowed to give health care to Americans that really desperately need it. The Democrats are very not caving, as they should. They should not cave because the Republicans passed a bill, the one ugly bill in February, to cut Medicaid and health care, billions of dollars from it, which the tax credits from the ACA, Obama Affordable Care Act, will lapse at the end of the year, which would result in higher premiums for 16 million Americans, and 4 million Americans would be off and would not have health care. So the Democrats are fighting for that, and that's all on Trump because his name is all over it. He forced the Republicans' hand to pass this, gave the largest in history wealth transfer tax cut to the wealthy 1%, and left millions of lower class Americans suffering, scared, terrified. Right now, he's now threatening to fire thousands of federal workers instead of being furloughed right now. He said permanently firing, which you can't do that. And he's touting that. I've never witnessed an American president touting firing American jobs. While he says inflation is down and everything's good, yet he's still firing people. It makes no sense. So despite this being a successful foreign policy, whatever, now he has to worry about his own backyard, which has been a complete disgrace and a complete failure on this administration and on Donald Trump. That's the facts. So I want to ask the people that watches this, do you guys trust Israel? Or do you guys trust Hamas? Do you think the ceasefire would hold? Do you think both sides will stand for peace? Because the peace summit, Benjamin Netanyahu didn't even go. It embarrassed Donald Trump. He did go to the parliament in Israel and they kissed ass to him and all this other stuff, but didn't even have the nerve to go to the summit to sign it. All the other leaders from around the world went and they congratulated him. Fine, they can acknowledge that America did have a part in this. I'll admit that. But as we've seen, both sides cannot hold their end of the bargain here. They do a ceasefire, they talk about it, and then maybe a day or two, and then they start bombing each other again. Because these two countries just hate each other. But we have to stand our ground, keep following up, keep focus on the main priority, which is peace for Israel and Gaza and Palestinians. Period. But we'll see where that lasts. We'll see how it goes in the next couple weeks and months. I really hope they do hold and keep their promise to not fire back. We got to stop the killing. It's just too much. Way too much. It's hard to see and hard to witness. And Donald Trump, please start taking care of your citizens.